So book of Ezekiel chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 16 and it reads, Moreover he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water and be astounded one with another and consume away for their iniquity. I'm going to reread it in the NLT. Ezekiel 4 and verse 16. Then he told me, Son of man, I will make food very scarce in Jerusalem. It will be weighed out with great care and eaten fearfully. The water will be rationed out drop by drop, and the people will drink it with dismay. Verse 17. Lacking food and water, people will look at one another in terror, and they will waste away under their punishment. I'm going to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to Allah, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim across the four corners of the earth. Pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua. I thought they're listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in a land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but who subscribe to this truth. To you, I say Shalom. So, brother, y'all, what's up? Coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. This lesson is inspired through the Spirit. On a video I saw on my news break, they said that this shit that DJ Trump doing has been like froze, and a judge did this and judge did that. I don't know what's really going on, but the stuff he did is still going down. You know what I mean? So, and the elder made a statement, and he said how pretty much, we aren't under the Constitution, but now we are up under the Constitution. I don't know. It's certain things this man ain't supposed to be allowed to do because we're under the Constitution, but, I'm going to play a video that's going to show, what he's doing actually is taking effect. So say fair use, Copyright Act. I'm not profiting off of this, but literally just lining up this video with some things that's written in the scriptures. Not profiting, Lord willing, this is edifying.
Distributed by a program that's part of U.S.
Satan's so busy.
aid, and it includes more than $340 million worth of rice, wheat.
Bear with me.
Humanitarian relief is stuck at the port of Houston after President Trump halted foreign aid for 90 days. The Houston Chronicle reports the food was being distributed by a program that's part of USAID, and it includes more than $340 million worth of rice, wheat, and soybeans. USAID shipments are also being held up at 7 other major U.S. ports, including Boston, New York, and Miami. And more than 30,000 tons of food meant for overseas humanitarian relief is stuck at the port of Houston after President Trump halted foreign aid for 90 days. The Houston Chronicle reports the food was being distributed by a program that's part of USAID, and it includes more than $340 million worth of rice, wheat, and soybeans. USAID shipments are also being held up at 7 other major U.S. ports, including Boston, New York, and Miami.
Now, I replayed it 3 or 4 times just because, for whatever reason, it usually allows you to rewind it, but it wasn't. Now, you got stupid ass 2/3 of our nation. That's why they got to be destroyed. They're not even paying attention to any of that. They don't give a fuck. They give a fuck about the Super Bowl, 50 Cent, Irv Gotti, some goofy shit that is not really going to help you with what's about to take place. But the thing is this, showing you how these devils don't give a fuck, like that food is pretty much about to spoil. Well, you got American citizens that's starving and struggling and whatnot. And this is the mindset of the Esau Edom. Years ago, I used to, like, the first job that I actually, like, start like, because I used to call myself running the streets. You know what I mean? And I made money and fucked up a lot of money. You know what I mean? The thing is, if I'd have knew how the streets really operated, I'd have been a complete L7. You know what I'm saying? Because again, everything from this devil requires a sacrifice. If you're gonna sacrifice, you might as well sacrifice for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So, with that being said, I remember the first job that I actually started maintaining, trying to keep a job, was in a restaurant, and these crackers were so fucking wasteful. Like, as opposed to just they wouldn't let you take the food and give it away. Like, they tried to say because they don't want to be sued or whatnot. But it was funny because after I became homeless, I saw these same restaurants that don't supposed to want to give the food away for free would donate the food. Like, they would tell me you couldn't take the food home, you got to throw it away. I would take that shit home and give it to Jake because I know Jake was fucked up. I see Jake, and Jake be fucked up. Be people that might have been, I knew that was in the streets or, in the way, what I mean? Or people that was really fucked up on drugs. And I would get, what I mean? Why throw it away? But just showing the mindset of, and motherfuckers gonna really think about the times when they was wasteful on food. Like, I don't allow my kids to waste food. Like, they know that that's a big pet peeve because when I was growing up, we didn't waste food. So, a famine's coming because, again, that's not affecting us per se, but it is. You got Jake barely making it now. Brothers has been in the spirit of speaking on that lately. Now, that was to foreigners. But again, they about to allow that food to spoil. So just imagine what's going to affect us. And again, you got to take the time to think about it. They say that the judges pretty much froze his, executive orders, but how the shit frozen then? Why that shit ain't moving? There's something bigger bigger going on for real. And the scriptures talk about famine being used as judgment. The Lord uses famines as he stops the food to punish the people. This is the book of matter of fact, I'll get it in where is that at? Second Ezra chapter 16, and it reads, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria." And modern day Egypt is Babylon the Great, aka America. "Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand." You should be in a sorrowful state. The only ones that's truly in a sorrowful state is the hopeful elect. I was listening to a brother. He was so much in the spirit. He was like, "Forgive me for not being able to do my videos as of lately," but at least he acknowledged it. I can see the Lord lightweight winking at that because you got some people that ain't even acknowledging it. It's funny. 50 Cent, I guess, fell out with Big Meech. I ain't been following. I just found this out, but his son did a video, and you could tell that's literally his fucking son because he a troll too. And he sit up there and said, it was funny how he did it. He said, "You thought you was special, huh? Who the fuck told you was special?" You got individuals think that they just, man, shit. The Lord gonna fuck a lot of people's minds up. Because the thing is this, what's the scariest thing about the truth is this. You could be putting your all into the truth and it don't matter. Because you ain't under the elect. Now, we trying to edify, so you want to build Jake up for the times to come. But the fact of the matter is, an elect man, in my opinion, wouldn't even, you got to consider all this stuff. Like, again, these people that just literally got in their mind that they just exempt and they got it. You good, the first go round, you ain't going to catch no. Like, Jake don't ever understand, do you, Jake? When the Lord put that holy hellfire on your ass, you ain't going to know what the fuck to do. And that shit sting. When you ain't got no groove to go ahead and say, take that itch off, take that slap off. Well, you gotta take the blood of that pain when it ain't no shot of liquor or no, you know what I mean? It ain't no It ain't no groove or nothing. You just out here just gotta eat that shit. Verse 3, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? The Lord's not turning his back. He's actually about to allow this to take place. Come on, man. Like, yeah. And the way I keep seeing it, the Lord is allowing certain shit to take place. Like, the way Trump moving is spiritual. If he's saying fuck them, he's saying fuck a lot of people right in your faces. You know, again, I keep on saying the federal government is the biggest employer you got. They land people off. You know, it's so many videos I could do right now. Like, you got these news stations talking about pretty much how this man is dismantling the government. They talking about trying to shut down the government. They shut down the government. What happens with tax returns and all that? Verse 4, a fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? And this is actually a question for him. Because the only one that could quench it or turn it back is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua, and he's not about to quench it or turn it back. Look at them fires going on the West Coast in Cali. Verse 5, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? I'm going to skip. Verse 9, a fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? Verse 10, he shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? You know, scriptures talk about woe to them that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? You don't know, or you guarantee, you know, only the elect are guaranteed. And nobody knows who the elect is. We may have an idea, but like I heard the elders say, you see individuals diligent. You know, like the elders have said that over the years, and me hearing them say it over and over. It's individuals they thought was of the elect that wasn't. Verse 13, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. That's going into those ICBMs. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Verse 14 is what I wanted. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, which we got fires going on the West Coast. Well, I ain't checked as of lately. You know, it probably still going on. And, you know, just that's normal. The most abnormal shit is normal now. It says, behold, behold, Salaki. Verse 15, the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundations of the earth. Verse 16, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, who turneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. You're not making America great again. You're not fixing this, you know, because the Lord sent out the plagues. Prophecy is moving forward. I pray that this devil, the Lord put the spirit on this devil to implement this thing. Because before, you know, it's like when you had to eat some shit that you ain't want to eat. Like I make my kids eat shit that they don't want to eat. I'm not going to baby you. I tell my kid I'm rough with girls. Because what the fuck, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We about to go through some shit. You know, I give them their little princess time here and there, but for the most part, no. You got everybody with a fucking opinion. I had an individual got an opinion. You don't even really fuck with my kids. But you questioning them. Like, what the fuck wrong with you? That's what blew my mind for real. You don't think I can see you don't fuck with them like that? Verse 16, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Verse 17, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Destruction, because he was seeing so much going on, you know, that might pop up in your mind, you know, but that's one thing about that one brother, the mighty brother. He's so confident, and confidence and faith and hope. The elder threw out a lesson. You know, I forgot how he worded it, and the spirit jumped on me. I was like, I might go ahead and mess with that one. Because, you know, because of faith. You know, which is all synonymous. Confidence. We confident in the name. That's what we call on it. Because when we called on it, things happened. That solidified our faith. fucking devil. Man, again, I know probably a multitude of brothers claim that fucking devil, that demon, but just let me borrow him. You gonna have to revive him though, because I'm gonna work the shit out of that. Probably just kill him on sight just to fuck it. Wake his ass back up. Verse 17, woe is me, spiritually, with the spiritual powers. I'm not going to do nothing, physically. The Lord showed me something. I cursed the motherfucker. That nigga got fired right there. I was like, damn. All this time you try to get carnal. No, we gonna go to the Lord. We gonna go to Abba. Get him. Verse 17, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. And, we see sorrows and great mournings, and we see, this is the beginning of a famine for them people. You already had the issue with the war in the Ukraine against Russia and all that. And, that's the bread basket. They said that's no longer the bread basket of the world. I believe India is now. It's things that's going on that's affecting the world geopolitically. And it's all scriptural. Call Loyam La Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So, the Lord is whipping, these nations in the world with these different scourges, which is these plagues, in order to amend the ways and to come back, especially 2/3 of our people to come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But read this, verse 20. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So you saw that with the whole lockdown situation. When they locked everybody down, that's when you had 2/3 niggas up there like, whoa, yeah, what's going on? What you think happening? That's when they had all the, you want to ask questions and want to be concerned about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But once the Lord opened it back up, they completely forgot about it. And the Lord gonna forget about them. The Lord is gonna forget about these wicked ass individuals that don't give a fuck or care about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Salaki. It's the book of Ezekiel chapter 14, starting at verse we'll start at verse 13, Ezekiel 14 and 13. Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, then will I stretch out my hand upon it and will break the staff of bread thereof. Now that's affecting those other nations right now, because you won't realize how much, like when you take time to think about what DJ Trump doing, he really is in the mindset of America first, Esau first, Edomites first. He's showing you that with all the legislation he's doing. He canceled Black History Month. Like, what the fuck? I have not heard too much about Black History Month. Have you heard anything about Black History Month? My kids was up there talking about how it's a black they go to a black school, so of course they like the teacher up there, and pretty much I tell them certain things, so they like I'm like, don't tell everybody things that you know. So they was like, the teacher pretty much said the same thing, like, I'm not supposed to be telling y'all this, but was telling them. So you don't even know how this is affecting these educators. And they gonna look stupid because, again, they don't need you. They can use AI to teach the kids. It says, and will break the staff of bread thereof, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it. So you're going to starve everything. Ezekiel 14 and 14, 144. Though these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it, they should deliver but their own souls, but their righteousness, so like it by their righteousness, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Because the scriptures tell you, silver profit or riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness to deliver from death. Verse 15, if I cause noisome beasts to pass through the land, and they spoil it, so that it be desolate, that no man may pass through because of the beast, though these three men were in it, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua power, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters, they only shall be delivered, but the land shall be desolate. Or if I bring a sword upon the land, and say, sword, go through the land, so that I cut off man and beast from it, though these three men were in it, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua power, they shall deliver neither son nor daughter, but they only shall be delivered themselves. Salakia. Verse 19. Or if that's how much judgment is going to be going on, and the Lord is only going to be dealing with those that's of his elect. Now the scriptures talk about, a man saving his household, a believer, because that's how merciful the Lord is. I think about my current situation. The Lord tried to take me away from my kids multiple times. And I didn't see it that way. I didn't realize it at the time. Until finally, the Lord gave my kids. So I think, in actuality, I was supposed to get them anyway. I was supposed to sit back and been patient as opposed to trying to do my will and not his will. And that's why I bumped my head so many times. Because at the end of the day, I look at it now like my demon's nowhere to be found. I done went to jail 30,000 fucking times, but she's nowhere to be found. When I tried to give them back to her, she sat up there and talk about she's not in a position to take them. But you didn't want me to have them, and you can't get them. That's how you know it was really a demon on her. I was listening to Jake say, a real live demon. You really got demons inhabiting some of these people that we actually associate with. You know what I'm saying? It could be just, your lot is your lot. I heard Jake say they don't fuck with their family because they demons. Because pretty much, like the elder brother said, anybody that's pretty much not in his truth is potentially like an agent, you know what I mean, for Satan. The only thing that's going to keep these demons from, really just having their way with you is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. When you take the time to think about how we pretty much being bombarded with signals and, all these different psyops, this is a fucked up, like the brother said, this is a fucked up place that these people trying to hold on to. Verse 21. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua power, how much more when I send my force. I forgot where I was at, Salakia. I think I was at verse 21 because I read, pretty much your own righteousness. Ezekiel 14 and verse 21. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua power, how much more when I send my force. How much more when I send my four sore judgments upon Jerusalem, the sword and the famine and the noisome beast and the pestilence to cut off from it man from beast. So one of the four sore judgments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is a famine. And again, you notice how I keep on talking about how it's going to affect Jerusalem. And it's going to affect you tribes. Right now, again, Jake ain't really paying attention to it because, it's 4A. Jake probably don't even know nothing about this. I was watching this one economist that I follow. He was talking about, pretty much the shutdown. They talk about a government shutdown. They said pretty much what Trump doing, which is, it could be all staged. They talk about Trump doing this and doing that. Well, then, to stop him from what he's doing, they'll just let the government shut down. Well, what's the repercussions from that? If the government shuts down, then you definitely might not get your benefits. You know what I mean? This shit is not a joke. You know, I'm seeing Jake out there doing the work. Call lawyer like y'all, but she be on shot. I noticed that. Brothers and shit, see, shit, there's a lot going on. Shit. Let me go ahead and store up some treasures in heaven. Because this ain't guaranteed. It's lock it. Where am I at? As far as, because you ain't got a guarantee. I mean, like I said, nobody knows to say, oh, y'all know for sure my seat on the chariot is in the back on the left hand side. You know what I mean? Like, nobody know that. I mean, we all, like I said again, I truly wholeheartedly believe that elders get a reward all day. That's why, brothers, we always have spiritual dreams about them. Like the brother always says, I believe those are prophets, and I do as well. Not to compromise, you know, they not selling the truth. You know, for filthy lucre. Men of integrity. This is the book of Luke chapter 21. We'll start at verse 1 and it reads, and he looked up and saw the rich man casting their gifts into the treasury. Verse 2, and he saw also a certain poor widow casting in thither 2 mites. Now, a mite.
For an app that blocks ads. It blocks ads for apps.
I don't know why this keep doing this. It says 2 mites, which was like the cheapest coin, like pennies. Verse 3, and he said, of a truth I say unto you that this poor widow hath cast in more than they all, because she cast everything she had. And that's why we supposed to cast everything we got into this truth, especially at the end. You know, the end, you supposed to come in, you're supposed to go out like you coming in, you know. But at the same time, you know, at the end of the race is when you run the hardest. I was listening to one brother, he was saying that, he said, after the race is over with, you know, that's when you get to go and lay down and, you know what I mean? You know, brothers talk about they soldiers and, you know, quote, Peter, no, 2 Timothy chapter 2 about, you know, a soldier. But, you know, a soldier finishes the mission. No matter what. You know what I mean? That's deep. You know, Lord threw a wrench I didn't even see. You know, I would have never expected that to happen. And it could have played out differently, but I wasn't going to keep no lie going. The Lord would have killed us both. We faking it, huh? Like, no, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, no, we ain't going to do that. I don't want to be the example around after Passover and then some judgment happened to you. Like, what happened? Fuck that. I can love you. I love that brother. You know what I'm talking about? Right. Everybody that was talking shit, I love y'all so deeply. Because y'all hate who I hate. They're either like, verse 4, for all these have their abundance cast onto the offerings of the Most High, but she of her penury, her poverty, that which is behind, lacking, penury, says, Hus ter ama. Hus ter ama. So she was poor, but she gave everything she had. You know, and brother, I've seen brothers do that. I've done that. I'm sure brothers have done that. Well, I can't say, you know, you don't know, but I've done that. You know, knowing that the Lord, I know a brother that has done that. He was like, he didn't want certain things from brother because he was like, he know when the Lord give it to him, it's going to be way better. That's a beautiful mindset to have, and it's true. Wish everybody was like-minded. Says, she of her penury hath cast in all the living that she had. Verse 5, and as some spake of the temple, how it was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said, as for these things which ye behold, the days will come in the which there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And the brother was kept on mentioning that. He said one brick by brick. I was like, what? You know what I mean? But yeah, he talked about that. The Lord said, all this shit gonna be devastated. This place gonna be left desolate. I mean, you gotta really sit back and imagine that. You know, brother was sitting up there. I mean, he was in the spirit completely. Like I felt him so hard. I've been listening to his little video for like the last couple of days. He was in the spirit. He like, the Lord is just gonna stop this shit. He was like, you know, you seeing all this traffic moving. You know, the Lord stopped it already when the COVID shit, when everybody had to stay in the fucking house. But wait till he stop it this time. Verse 7, and they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? Verse 8, and he said, Take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and the time draweth near. Go ye not thereof, so like it, go ye not therefore after them. Verse 9, but when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. So like it, but the end is not by and by. Verse 10, then said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Verse 11, the point, and great earthquakes shall be in divers places. It was just an earthquake, I think, either yesterday or today. I can't remember. It's me so much, and I think I saved it, but I might have didn't. Because I got like 2 different news apps. You know, Newsbreak, which a brother put me onto that one. That was a great gift. Called Lloyd Mlayah. I shot the Lord, put the spirit on that brother to give it to me. And then I came across another one that's kind of similar, but it's more so like local stuff. But they be talking about world events too. It says, verse 11 again, and great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines and pestilences. Which you got... How it opened up. I didn't hit that. Shit crazy. But you know, the pestilences is your flying flus and you know, your CVs and these different things, and then you got famines, which like I said again, the loss of all that food is about to affect those people, but you got people starving now in Babylon the Great, which is supposed to be considered a wealthy nation.
For an app that blocks
But
ads.
just imagine when it really stops, when he really shuts that aid down. And fearful sights and great signs shall be, so like it, and great signs shall there be from heaven. And we all have seen the chariots, the drones, all these different things that's taking place in Babylon the Great, you know, the different signs in heaven. You know, scriptures talk about in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, measuring the time, you know, where you see the different signs, you know, the time we're in, roughly paraphrase. Man, why is they so hard-headed? Salakia. So yeah, I mean, scriptures talk about it's gonna be a time. It's gonna be a scarcity of food, but scriptures talk about how the elect, the Lord is gonna feed His elect. You got Isaiah chapter 65. There's multiple scriptures talk about the Lord being with His elect and taking care of them, and this is a good one. Job chapter 5 and verse 20. I'm gonna start at verse verse 15. Job 5 and 15. But he saveth the poor from the sword. Who saveth the poor? Who is the poor? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, West Indians, and Haitians. Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, true chosen people, the Israelites. From their mouth and from the hand of the mighty. So the poor have hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. Verse 17. Behold, happy is the man whom the Most High correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. which is a good one. I thought it would have a highlight. Verse 18, for he maketh sore and bindeth up, he woundeth, and his hands make whole. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. The Lord got us for real, his elect. The Lord got his elect. Because as long as you're doing right by the Lord gonna do right by you. Verse 20, and famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Verse 21, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. Verse 22, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. Verse 23, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. Yeah. Elder was just talking about that. He was like, you got to be cool with them animals. You got to understand them animals to a degree, which is deep. A true prophet ain't a regular guy, you know what I mean? Like the elders say, like, a little bit about the herb, about, the earth, A true prophet is in sync with the earth, you know what I'm saying? Which is deep. I say, I used to be off into a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like deep. And I wasn't bugged out. But, yeah. The Lord is going to have his man. What the elders say? He said, the prophet is the most highest man. So the Lord got him. So, again, this is a time to come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua before, those gates of mercy close, because we still got mercy. We still can go get some food. We still can go. You got people sitting watching that stupid ass Super Bowl. And, the brother did a video about it. I don't normally watch him, so I wasn't trying to watch him. I ain't proving shit. I know me. I know what I got going on. I know myself. Scriptures talk about know thyself. Is that in the scriptures? Well, you should know yourself, though. You should know what, Yeah, because pretty much it say, pretty much don't do nothing that's above you, And when it comes to knowledge or anything, like trying to keep up with this person, but that ain't for you. This man might deal with 12 women. You might not be able to deal with but one. You watching him, trying to be like him, be like you. I done seen that in the truth too. Jake trying to be like another man, but you ain't being like the man that the Lord created you to be. But, I'm just rambling at this point. Lord, that was significant to me. I was like, God damn, he just halt the food. And they're not, to show you how stupid these Edomites is, they're not going to you should at least bring the food. If you're going to hold the food there for 90 days, you do know the food going to spoil. The things that probably won't spoil is like the rice. Rice ain't going to spoil, but it's all kind of food in there. And then I think once food is contaminated and spoiled, food that normally wouldn't spoil can spoil too. So, again, show you the mindset and how stupid this devil is. So I'm going to end the lesson there. If you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, commandments of your power, whose true name in the Paleo-Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, or you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Loyim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem HaKodash. Double honors to the elders, to the apostles that taught me the truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the 4 corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and Akwat after listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edified. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, Lord willingly, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharallah, Mawathala Babal.